Hi, I'm Human and I do human-robot interaction. Today, we present you PufferBot, an expandable structure for aerial robots. This is a joint work with Ryo Suzuki, Daniel Leitinger, and Dan Safer. This work is done in Atlas Institute at University of Colorado Boulder and funded by NASA. This project was inspired by pufferfish, a poisonous fish that puffs up to twice of its size when it's in danger to protect itself. PufferBot is a design concept with two goals in mind: how to improve human robot interaction and how to improve safety. The number of drones in our daily life is increasing. Drones are delivering food and packages, inspecting bridges and power lines, helping first responders, and they are cool toys for hobbyists and photographers. These pictures have two things in common. First, a drone. Second, collocated people. If you look at the people, they seems relaxed and they seems enjoying their interaction. But this is not always the case. The interaction between collocated people and drones are far from perfect. The first issue here is the drone does not communicate their intention to the users. As you see in this video, the lady doesn't know if the drone is following her or trying to stop her or what's the drone's intention. The second issue is drones are not designed for the worst case scenario. More specific, crashing into humans or obstacles. So our first design goal is to improve human-robot interaction. In my point of view, a perfect human-robot interaction happens when the robot understands user's intention as well as the robot can convey information such as robot's internal states, trajectory, or task, and so on and so forth to the users. As a designer, my goal is to design robots that can express themselves better and convey more information to the users. Among all of these information that can be shown to the user, most of previous approaches focus on trajectory of the robot. For example, Safer use lights such as blinker, thruster, or beacon, or motions such as easing, anticipation, or arcing to show the next trajectory of the robot. In most recent years, there are use of augmented reality to show the trajectory of the robot and also projection to show the direction to the user. These are great and valuable efforts, but we want to introduce another interaction. We want to give personality to the robot, and if the user go close to the robot convey the information that don't come close to me. Our second design goal is to improve safety. Drones are so powerful, yet they have an Achilles heel, which is their propellers. Propellers of a drone are so fragile that a small impact on them are going to be deadly for the drone. Most of times is due to losing the control of the drone and the drone hits the ground. There are many solutions to prevent that. The first and easy solution is using propellers guards. Propellers guards are a permanent structure that attach to the drone and it help or prevent damage to the propellers of the drone in only one direction. The second solution is to use cages. A cage is a permanent structure that protect the propellers of the drone in all directions. One problem with this solution is that it reduces the maneuverability of the drone and the drone cannot go into narrow spaces. This third solution is inspired by origami and it's a foldable cage. When a robot is flying, it looks like a permanent cage, but when the robot landed, the cage can be folded in order to ease carrying the drone. The fourth solution is not adding any structure to the robot, but it protects the propellers of the drone by changing the shape of the drone. So, near narrow spaces, the robot changes its shape in order to decrease the size of the robot in one dimension, and then it can safely go through that narrow space. Our design is inspired by the third and fourth solution. We want to have a cage, but at the same time, we want to deploy it whenever it is necessary. And whenever it's not, it should not reduce the maneuverability of the drone. Now let's dive into our design process. PufferBot has three main parts: the structure, the actuator, and the drone. For the structures, we have two constraints. First, we want to protect propellers at the same time not reducing the maneuverability of the drone. In other words, we want the cage to be foldable. Second, because of aerodynamic of the drone, the structure can only occupy yellow spaces and not the red one. We use deployable structure. A deployable structure is a structure that can change shape so as to significantly change its size. It gives us the property that we needed for this project. One of the most famous deployable structures is a toy named Hoverman Sphere. Inspired by this toy, we came up with four designs: circle, cylinder, hemisphere, and a sphere. Each of these designs has their own unique properties. As an example, the mass of expandable structure increased from left to right. As a result, the flight time decreases, or the center of mass does not change in most of the design except for hemisphere, or the structure visibility increases from left to right. We decided to go with hemisphere as a proof of concept. After designing our parts, we started to implement with straws and then plexiglass and laser cut, and then for 9 months we just failed really bad. And finally, we find the right material. Next, the actuation system. The only constraint here is, since we are actuating a circle, we should move each joint with the same speed. So it's hard to sync different servo motors together. And because of that, we designed a 1 degree of freedom actuation system. Here is how our actuation system works. Last, the drone. Although this is not part of our contribution, for sake of completeness, we use DJI Flameville F450 quadcopter. After all, the system works like this. PufferBot can protect humans in two ways. First, near obstacles, it can expand to obscure any moving part to protect the human. Moreover, the collapsible structure also has potential to reduce impact and damage to the people. PufferBot can also protect the drone itself. Finally, PufferBot can help drone to navigate in the environment. We've talked about safety. Now let's talk about human-robot interaction. We want to, if a user goes close to the robot, the robot signaled to the user that don't come close to me, I'm dangerous. The interaction we design is inspired by PufferBot. When a person goes close to the PufferBot, the expandable structure expands to notify the person. With that said, I'm going to conclude my presentation. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and if you have any question, please email me. Thank you.